You open your eyes to the sound of something breathing outside your shelter. It's not human, you're barefoot, you're hungry, and you have no idea where you are. There's no fire, no phone, no tools, no food. Just you dropped into a prehistoric world where the rules are brutal, the predators don't miss, and you are the softest, weakest thing in the wild. Modern comforts, useless. Modern knowledge, meaningless. You've got 24 hours to survive. Spoiler alert, you won't. It starts with the cold. Not the kind of cold you feel when you forget your jacket on a windy day. This is bone-deep, soul-shaking cold. You're naked. Your skin is completely exposed, scratched by every branch, strung by every gust of wind. The dirt beneath your feet is damp, uneven, alive with insects, and you are utterly, violently alone. The air smells different, not just natural, but ancient. You don't recognize a single sound. No cars, no buzzing from overhead wires, no hum of a refrigerator, just wind, crows, something growling in the far distance. You reach for your pocket instinctively, where your phone should be. There's nothing, just a deep, helpless panic setting in. This is not a game. You've been dropped into the Paleolithic period, somewhere between 10,000 and 2 million years ago. You're not surrounded by tents or Instagrammable forests. You're in raw wilderness. No roads, no maps, no paths, just a vast stretch of prehistoric land that has never heard of mercy. And here's the twist. Your modern body is not made for this. You're too soft, too slow, too reliant on comfort. Your feet, uncalloused and tender, are already in trouble. A single sharp rock or thorn and you're limping. Limp too long and you die. Your eyes aren't adapted for this light. Your ears, dulled by years of noise pollution, don't know what to pay attention to. That rustle behind you, that wasn't the wind. That was something watching you. Meanwhile, a real Paleolithic human, a hardened, feral, problem-solving survival machine, would already be 3 steps ahead, scanning for shelter, tracking animal scents, checking the sky for weather cues. You're still trying to figure out where the sun rises. The truth is, within the first hour, you'd already be making deadly mistakes, and the world around you wouldn't care. You start moving. Not because you know where you're going, but because standing still feels like death. Your instincts scream, move or die, and for once they're right. But every step is slow. The terrain is unforgiving, twisted roots, jagged stones, damp undergrowth that conceals holes, snakes, or worse. Your heart races, not just from fear, but exertion. You've never walked like this before. No shoes, no trail, no flat ground. Your posture is wrong. Your balance is off. You're using muscles that haven't been called upon in years or ever. And here's the catch. You're burning calories fast. You haven't eaten. Your last meal was likely full of carbs and caffeine. That energy, already gone. Paleolithic humans, on the other hand, ate to survive, not to snack. Their diets were dense, raw, earned through hours of hunting or foraging. Yours was probably ordered through an app. Within hours, your blood sugar crashes. You're dizzy, you feel weak. You think you're hungry, but what do you even eat here? You spot some berries, they're bright red and kind of pretty. But wait, are they poisonous? Are any of these edible? Ancient humans knew. Their brains were wired with generational knowledge. What was safe? What healed wounds? What killed you in hours? You don't even know what poison ivy looks like. And the sky is shifting. Shadows stretch. Time is running out. You need shelter before nightfall. Here's what most people forget. In the Paleolithic, night was a death sentence unless you were prepared. You needed fire, walls, weapons, or better yet, a tribe. But you have none of that. You crouch under some thick branches. It's not shelter, it's a hiding spot at best. You hope predators won't smell you. Spoiler, they will. Your heart pounds as the air grows colder. Every sound becomes sharper. You thought daytime was terrifying. You haven't met prehistoric night yet. The sun slips below the trees. Suddenly, you understand what true darkness means. Not city night dark where streetlights glow in the distance. This is absolute, ink-black, suffocating dark. You can't see your own hands. You can't tell what's 10 feet in front of you. You can hear everything, twigs snapping, leaves rustling, low growls far too close, but you can see nothing. You're shivering now. The cold presses in like water filling a sinking ship. No fire, no blanket. Your body burns energy just to stay warm, and you're already running on empty. Your breath fogs the air. Your teeth chatter uncontrollably. And then the noises change. There's something moving nearby, not curious, hunting. In the Paleolithic world, you are not the predator. You are meat, tender, soft, and defenseless. Big cats roamed these lands. Packs of hyenas, wolves, giant snakes, creatures with stronger jaws, sharper senses, and far more experience in the dark than you. Your scent, your heat, your heartbeat, all of it gives you away. You try to stay quiet, still, maybe it'll pass. But the truth is, cavemen didn't survive by hiding and hopping. They built barriers. They made fire. They slept in groups, not for warmth, but for watch duty. Someone always stayed awake. You're completely alone. And here's the kicker, your mind starts to break down. It's not just fear, it's panic, primal and irrational. Your breathing speeds up. Your thoughts race. Every sound becomes a threat. You start to hallucinate. Maybe you see eyes that aren't there. Maybe you hear whispers in the trees. Maybe they're real. The night drags on. It doesn't end quickly. There's no cutscene, no time skip. You lie there, sleep-deprived, cold, starving, hunted, with zero tools, zero tribe, and zero chance. The Paleolithic world isn't trying to scare you. It just is. And you were never meant to survive it alone. The clock hasn't even hit 24 hours yet. You wake up, if you slept at all. But waking is worse than sleeping. Your limbs are stiff. Your back is scraped from the forest floor. Your skin is raw, covered in bites, welts, and filth. You're not rested. You're weaker. And now the wild is fully awake. In the modern world, nature is romanticized. Hiking trails, filtered streams, filtered photos. But here, nature is one long, continuous attempt to kill you. No warnings, no mercy. First, the bugs. Swarms of mosquitoes descend like tiny vampires. But unlike today's species, these ancient cousins were often larger, nastier, and possibly disease-carrying. You swat at them, but it's no use. You've got no repellent, no netting, no protective clothing. And what starts as a mild annoyance becomes blood loss, infection, even fever. Then the parasites. That itch on your ankle could be a tick. That rash on your arm could be a burrowing mite. You've been exposed to bacteria your body has never encountered. Prehistoric humans had strong immune systems forged by constant exposure. But you've been sanitized and soap scrubbed your whole life. Your gut bacteria is fragile. Your skin is untrained. And then comes the terrain. You try to move fast, maybe find a stream, but the forest floor is a trap. Sinkholes, thorn thickets, sharp stones, slippery moss. You slip, cut your leg, fall on your elbow. A Paleolithic human might shake it off. But that gash might turn septic. That bruise might slow you down. Slow equals dead. Worse still, you're loud. Every branch you step on, every rustle you cause alerts the ecosystem. You don't belong here, and the forest knows. The birds go silent. The air thickens. Something is watching again. Because now we get to the real threat, the predators. They don't need to chase you yet. They're patient. They've got time. You're a walking buffet, sweating, bleeding, limping. You smell like weakness. And weakness never survives long in the Paleolithic wild. You spot a stream. It sparkles in the sunlight, winding through the trees like a silver ribbon. Salvation. You rush toward it, falling to your knees and drinking like someone who's never tasted water before. But this stream doesn't come with a Brita filter. It's teeming with microscopic threats, parasites, bacteria, and wastes from animals upstream. In a few hours, your gut will feel it. Maybe you'll cramp, vomit, or worse, dehydrate even faster. In the Paleolithic era, people didn't just drink, they boiled water. They filtered it with charcoal or moss. They knew where to drink and where not to. You don't. And now you're wet, your hands, your knees, your face. A few minutes later, your clothes, or what little you've tried to piece together are damp. That's a problem. Wet skin loses heat faster. Add a breeze and you're shaking again. You start to move, hopping to dry off, but that's when you spot them. Tracks. Large ones, three-toed, deep. Something heavy moved through here recently. Maybe it's a bear, maybe it's something worse. Keep in mind, prehistoric predators were not the animals we know today. Lions had longer limbs and were more aggressive. Saber-toothed cats, built like tanks with steak knives for teeth. Even massive birds, flightless, fast, and furious, could kill a human easily. And they didn't fear humans yet. You weren't a threat, you were just meat. Panic rises, but there's nowhere to go. You're in their world, on their paths, reeking of fear and sweat. You crouch, try to be silent, heart hammering. Every leaf crackle feels like a gunshot. Your breathing is too loud, your limbs are too slow, and your instincts, confused, conflicting. You want to run, but where? You want to hide, but how? The truth is brutal. Modern humans lost their natural edge long ago. We evolved minds, language, technology, but in exchange, we gave up raw survival. Your ancestors were tuned into every sound, every scent, every shift in wind. You're guessing. And in the Paleolithic world, guessing gets you killed. You think you've found shelter. A shallow overhang of rock near a hillside. It's dry, shaded, maybe even safe. You settle in, body sore, stomach empty, mind stretched thin. For a brief moment, you let yourself believe this might be okay. But survival isn't just about hiding. It's about constant, strategic movement. Ancient humans were always calculating, where's the next water source? Where are the prey animals? Which direction is the wind blowing? What phase is the moon in tonight? You're not calculating anything, you're hopping. That hope gets shattered when the insects return. This time it's not just mosquitoes, it's flies, the kind that follow open wounds. You didn't notice the scrape on your thigh earlier, but they did. They land, crawl, lay eggs. That's not horror fiction, that's a prehistoric Tuesday. And let's not forget the climate. Depending on your drop location, temperatures could swing wildly, baking heat by day, freezing cold at night. The human body isn't built for these extremes without protection. Cavemen wore furs, layered hides, knew how to trap warmth. Your skin is blistering by noon and shivering by dusk. Even the plants can't be trusted. That leafy bush you brushed against earlier could be a prehistoric cousin of poison oak. Your arm, starting to itch, a deep, inflamed burn. You scratch, it spreads. Welcome to prehistoric dermatology. You don't get treatment, you get infections. Your body is now breaking down. Dehydrated, underfed, overexposed, mentally unraveling, and it's barely been one full day. What's wild is that this environment wasn't considered extraordinary to early humans. It was daily life. Kids were raised in it. Elders endured it. And they didn't just survive, they adapted. They cooperated. They built tools. They read the land like a second language. You've been rendered helpless by a rock, a bush, and a bug. It's not that nature hates you. It's that it simply doesn't care if you live or die. Your stomach growls like an animal. It's been over 24 hours since your last real meal, and your body is now demanding fuel. But prehistoric hunger is a cruel teacher. You're surrounded by trees, plants, maybe even the sound of animals in the distance, but nothing looks edible. And even if it did, you have no idea what's safe. You reach for some berries that look familiar, maybe you saw them on a hike once. But in the Paleolithic, mimicry was deadly. One wrong berry, one toxic root, and your digestive system will punish you with vomiting, diarrhea, or full-blown organ failure. You're not just hungry, now you're gambling with your life. Prehistoric humans, they knew the difference, not from a book, but from generations of oral knowledge, observation, and shared memory. Their diets were brutal and raw, marrow sucked from cracked bones, liver chewed straight from a kill, insects roasted on hot rocks. Meanwhile, you flinch at the thought of eating something with legs. But in this world, if you won't eat it, it'll eat you. You consider foraging, but there's no guidebook here. Every nut could break a tooth. Every leaf could be laced with poison. And you don't even have fire, which means no cooking, no sterilizing, no softening your food. You're also forgetting the calorie trap. Prehistoric people burned up to 4,000 calories a day just surviving. Walking, lifting, hunting, building. You've burned hundreds just trying to stay warm and upright, and replaced none of them. Your stomach begins to cramp. Hunger isn't just a noise now, it's a pain, sharp and personal, pulsing like a warning. Your body starts slowing down, thinking becomes foggy, muscles feel heavy, your hands tremble slightly. This is starvation, and it doesn't wait politely. And worst of all, you can't rest. Because even in hunger, danger doesn't stop. You want to lie down to regain strength, but the second you do, the forest reclaims its advantage. This isn't fatigue. This is prehistoric exhaustion, where rest means risk, and sleep might be your final mistake. You find a dead animal. It's fresh, maybe too fresh. A small, gutted deer, still warm, blood pooling in the dirt. No signs of other scavengers yet. Your brain screams at you. Food! This could be your only shot. But as you inch closer, reality hits you like a club. You don't know how to butcher it. You don't know where the edible parts are. You don't even have a sharp tool, no knife, no stone blade, not even a bone shard. Just your trembling hands and the growing stench of death. And then the real problem, what killed it? You didn't, which means something else did, and it might still be watching. In the Paleolithic world, every meal is a competition. Predators don't just kill for food, they guard it. They stalk those who dare approach. You are now officially bait. You back away. But the hunger doesn't leave. It follows you like a low growl inside your bones. Your brain, desperate and foggy, begins to lower its standards. You spot a beetle. You hesitate. But in this world, even bugs are calories. Paleolithic humans routinely ate insects, larvae, worms. They were protein-rich, easy to catch, and everywhere. But you gag. Your instincts scream that this is wrong, disgusting. That's your modern wiring talking, raised on sanitized kitchens and expiration dates. The truth is, prehistoric humans didn't have food preferences. They had food urgencies. And while your stomach rebels, your energy dips lower. You try to rest again, leaning against a tree, closing your eyes. But the forest is alive with tiny threats. Ants climb up your legs, your skin itches. A sudden sharp sting, maybe a spider, maybe worse. You snap awake, heart racing. Adrenaline replaces sleep. Again. This isn't just insomnia, it's biological warfare. Your body wants to sleep, your brain refuses. Your senses are over alert. Even when your eyes close, every noise jolts them back open. Because in the wild, the second you relax, you lose. You're running on fumes now. Every step feels heavier than the last. You move through the underbrush like a ghost, not from stealth, but because your legs barely respond. Your body is eating itself. Muscle breakdown has begun. Your brain, starved of glucose, fires slower, more erratic. You forget what you were doing. You stop mid-step, mid-thought, mid-breath. This is prehistoric burnout. You collapse near a hollow tree trunk and curl up, not because it's safe, but because your body demands it. Your eyes flutter, just for a second, just a moment. But again, the forest refuses you peace. A rustle, something slithers near your foot. You jerk up in terror. Was it a snake, a lizard, a thousand-legged insect? You didn't see it. You don't want to see it. But now you're fully awake again, heartbeat in your throat, skin crawling. Your stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, have been maxed out for hours. In the modern world, they help you run from deadlines and traffic. Here, they're your only weapon. But like any weapon, they overheat. Your body can't sustain this state. Ancient humans dealt with this too, but they had systems. Tribe members would take shifts. They'd share food. They'd make jokes, tell stories, calm each other. A communal buffer against mental collapse. You have none of that. You're a modern mind, overstimulated, undernourished, and completely alone in a world designed to break you. Even your emotions betray you. You feel shame, Confusion. You want to cry. Maybe you do. Maybe it helps. Maybe it doesn't. Time begins to blur. You no longer know how long you've been out here. A day, two, it doesn't matter. The sun rises and falls without pity. The pain is constant, but so is the emptiness, the realization that you were never built for this. You close your eyes once more, not from peace, but from defeat. And deep in your gut, you finally understand. You were never meant to survive this world. Something inside you has gone quiet. It's not peace, it's something else, something emptier, a hollowing out. Your thoughts no longer shout, they drift, disconnected. Time isn't linear anymore. You don't know what hour it is, you don't care. This is the beginning of the death spiral, and it doesn't always start with blood. It often starts with silence. Your brain, desperate to preserve what little energy is left, begins shutting down unnecessary functions. Problem solving, forget it. Long-term planning, gone. All that's left is a fadding instinct to keep moving, and even that feels optional now. In the Paleolithic world, people didn't just survive physically, they survived mentally. They had rituals, purpose, structure. You thrown into this world with no cultural framework are unraveling from the inside out. It's not your fault. The human mind was never designed to handle isolation like this. Modern humans break down without interaction. It takes just 48 hours of silence and sensory deprivation to start hallucinating. You begin hearing things, whispers, footsteps, maybe your name, not real. Or maybe they are, you can't tell anymore. In the distance, a shadow moves. It could be an animal, it could be your imagination. It could be both. You're too exhausted to run. You just stare, blinking, waiting for it to decide what to do with you. And this is the darkest truth of all. Even if you were somehow rescued now, you'd never be the same. The trauma of exposure, both physical and psychological, would leave scars that no hospital could treat. Your body might heal, your mind, maybe not. Because survival isn't just about calories and shelters and wounds. It's about meaning, and you don't have any here. That's why prehistoric humans made art in caves. That's why they sang, danced, mourned, worshipped. It wasn't weakness, it was survival. They were building mental armor. You've got nothing but skin. And in the Paleolithic world, skin alone isn't enough. Your memories start betraying you. You suddenly smell coffee, hear a phone buzz, see your bedroom, just flashes, sharp, beautiful, painful, not real. Your brain is trying to trick you, offering comfort where none exists. It's a desperate last-ditch effort to protect your sanity, and it's failing. Because the more these illusions come, the harder it is to tell what's real. This is not a poetic moment. It's not cinematic. It's terrifying. Your grip on reality is slipping, and you know it. And still, you can't stop it. You try to speak, not for any reason, just to remind yourself that you exist. But your voice cracks. You haven't used it in hours, maybe days. Your throat is dry. It's like learning to talk again, except there's no one to hear you. The silence isn't just around you now, it's inside you. And then your body follows. Your muscles ache in a new way, not soreness, but surrender. You've been pushing through pain, hunger, cold. But now your body begins letting go. Your limbs are slower. Your grip weakens. Your eyes can barely stay open. It's not sleep calling. It's collapse. You trip over a root, but you don't rise, not right away. You just lie there, face in the dirt. No will to move, because something deep inside has accepted it. This is the end. Not dramatic, not loud, just slow, quiet unraveling. You're not being hunted anymore. You're not fighting anymore. You're fadding and the forest doesn't notice. This is how many early humans died. Not by tooth or claw, but by time, exposure, isolation, the slow draining of will until there's nothing left to stand up for. And still, your ancestors survived it. Because they had each other. You don't. You've made it this far, sure, further than expected. But now, you're just a vulnerable creature, lying in a brutal world that never needed you in the first place. And it's ready to take you back. Somewhere deep in your brain, an old instinct flickers. Not strong, not loud, just a faint pulse move. You roll over, not because you believe you'll survive, but because the animal in you isn't quite dead yet. It's the same instinct that pushed your ancestors through floods, fires, famines. The same one that made them crawl, hunt, build. You didn't earn it, you inherited it. But it's not enough. You try to stand. Your knees buckle. You crawl, dragging your body forward through leaves and filth. You don't even know where you're going. There's no destination, just movement, just not dying, not yet. You stop by a fallen tree. Shade wraps around you like a blanket. You lean against the trunk, head pounding, breath shallow. And then you realize you're not scared anymore. Fear requires energy. Hope does too. You've used it all. What's left is stillness. A kind of numbness that isn't peace, but surrender. This is what happens when a modern human meets a prehistoric world on its own terms. The wild always wins. Your body lies there, small and soft and completely unremarkable. No tools, no fire, no tribe. Just a creature that once thought it ruled the planet and couldn't even last 24 hours in the place it came from. Above you, birds chirp. Insects buzz. Something scurries in the underbrush. Life continues. The world moves on. Because that's the final truth. The Earth doesn't need you. It never did. And if you vanished right now, if you became bones under a tree, this forest would barely blink. No story, no legacy, just another fragile animal that didn't make the cut. This is not fiction. This is what would happen. You wouldn't survive 24 hours as a caveman. Not because you're weak, but because you're modern. And modernity is a luxury you were never meant to carry into the wild alone. So, could you survive as a caveman? Maybe for a few hours, maybe a day, but not like they did. Not without the instincts, the tribe, the fire, the grit baked into their bones. And that's okay. Because their world built ours, and their struggle is why you get to ask the question instead of live the answer. If this made you rethink what it means to be human, hit subscribe. There's a lot more the past has to teach us if you're brave enough to look back.